Hi everyone, welcome to the video. This is going to be a really exciting one for me because we are going to see a gRPC feature which is our recent release, and this is a most awaited feature from the community where a lot of discussions going on GitHub, Discord. People are regularly asking when gRPC is going to add in Bruno, when Bruno is going to support a gRPC. So finally it's out, it's in beta. So if you are someone who is awaited for this feature, just go, feel free to test as more as you can do and share your feedback on GitHub. There is a discussion link I will going to put in this below description to the video. Share your feedback there and help community to polish that feature in a better way so everyone can get a benefit from that. So gRPC is interesting, and just to give a basic idea, REST API which is somewhere limited, you can't create sessions, and you can use that if you have a high performance application where you need collaboration stuff. So that's why gRPC is important. So basically REST APIs use HTTP1 protocol, gRPC use HTTP2. You can also use HTTP2 in REST API, but in a default way gRPC use, which is why it's fast in a communication. The proto file, which is single source of truth for gRPC, where in REST API you have a response as different data like a JSON, XML, plain text. There are different form of data which might be you have to convert, and there is no particular rule book, but in gRPC everything is documented or rule in a proto buff files basically. So you can take it as a rule book for gRPC, how your gRPC request is going to communicate with your server, what kind of request, what kind of response it expected, and how things configured. So everything is there. So it's more readable, and it's more better way to have everything documented, or everything is there. So that's the basic difference. And the basic difference, so REST API sends a single request like client server architecture. It's not create a communication or session between. So if you want to send something, you can send once, you will receive response once from REST API. But in gRPC, once you connected with the server and client create a session. In that session, you can create as much as you can want to communicate with your server and communicate onto your client. You can set a multiple messages, you receive multiple response, just like a chat application or any other collaborative platform works, where you are sharing a Notion document or Figma document with your friend, and you both are working simultaneously in a single document. Or same with the Canva, or where it's WhatsApp, like a chat application where you are sending multiple messages to your friend. Your friend is sending multiple response to you. It's like a source and destination where you create a small session which is fast, which is based on proto, and it just help you to respond very fastly and in a better way. So that's why gRPC is widely used, and we are going to see the use case, how you can actually test your gRPC endpoints, what streaming is inside the Bruno, and how you can get started. So let's get started with the video quickly and jump to the video. Hi everyone, so let's get started with the video in gRPC. Really excited for this one, and let's get started with gRPC, understand what it is and how it works inside the Bruno. I already have one sample collection with multiple requests, also the gRPC one, but we are going to see how the gRPC feature looks like, the interface looks like, what are the options are there, how you can perform a testing, and adding a proto file, server reflection, restart, autofill, like a bunch of stuff. But one thing I want to mention before starting a video, if you want to read a documentation, just go through documentation first and then start watching video, which gives you a better clarity. And if you want, or if you're someone who prefer to read documentation, just go through this website. So go to docs.usebruno and go to send request gRPC section, and everything is documented there. From proto files, how you can add proto files, create requests, and how we support streams, different types of streams, and bunch of stuff. So let's get started with the video and let's see how. So I have this EcoBrew request, and the first thing I want to mention is gRPC is in beta mode right now. We release a beta feature of that to make sure before making any production decision, just to make sure that this feature is going to be stable. And for everyone who want to use this feature, first you have to do is gRPC support enabled here. You have to save this, and then you will get a option to create a gRPC request. If you have not enabled this checkbox, then gRPC is not going to be coming as an option while creating a new request from here. To make sure that, just go to preferences, go to beta tab and enable this. and I will close this because I already enabled. So I will just quickly create a new gRPC request from here. I will say gRPC and I will give it as a name as a echo gRPC. I will keep it grpc.ben as a request, and I will copy the request from here because that's not a valid one, and this is echo gRPC. So this is a gRPC request, and I don't want to see any other message here. We don't have any auth. Okay, everything looks good, everything looks fine, and I will go to no environment. So this is a gRPC request. The interface looks like this, and just to give a quick introduction about gRPC. So this is a message section. This is a request section actually. This is a request component. So this is a message section where you send all the request data or payload of gRPC from here. This is a metadata you add here. You can consider metadata as a header values. Say this is authentication you can perform, you can document this. So this is a request component. In the response, whatever the metadata you have sent, you will receive here response, and yeah, we'll close this. This is trailers and timeline. So this is related to streaming and some advanced stuff which we are going to do, and then we will see all the features one by one. So before doing that, I want to add two things. One is you will see the server reflections here. So once I have added a request here, all the server methods which are available on this particular request available here, which is coming from proto. I already mentioned proto is a single source of truth, which means everything defined on the server side in the proto file, what exactly my request is going to be, what kind of data it's going to send, and what kind of response I will receive or I am expecting from that particular thing. So everything is available in the proto, and this is all coming from proto file. And this is server reflection. From here you can add a proto files. I don't have any proto files here right now, but you can add a multiple proto files from here. You can just browse a proto files here, and you can just go to any proto file. I will just quickly show you how proto file looks like. I go to projects, and I will just say test gRPC, and I have this hello proto file. This is just a hello option, and I will add this. And once I go here, it will just say hello, which is coming from my proto file, but this is not an API which I configured for hello, so we are not going to select this proto file. I just want to delete. And yeah, you can add multiple proto files, and as soon as you add a proto file, the particular server reflection will be available here. So I will save this and I will execute this again. So server reflection is here. And also one thing, you can add a collection level proto files as well. So if you have a proto files which you want to if you have a single proto file which is going to be a part of every request for your gRPC collection, so you don't need to add that particular gRPC file in request level individually. You can actually, but you don't need to, as you can add a proto file at collection level, and you can browse from here and you can add this proto files to your collection, and you can use this proto file along all the requests inside your collection. You don't need to add separately individually, so it just remove the redundancy or repeated work. But might be chance where you have a particular API which is need a particular proto file, then in that case you can add a proto files from here. So let's get started, and I will just quickly select a method as sum from here, and server reflection is on, and I will. So this is really interesting. This is a prettify option. You can prettify JSON data or any kind of data from here, and this is autofill. So you don't need to write any kind of data, just a testing purpose. You can just say click on this. This is autofill button or auto generate message. So it's going to create whatever the data expected for your request. And if I send this request as a data, and I'm going to receive a addition, because the method is sum which we have selected, and I'm going to receive a1136, so which is addition of these values from here. And again, if I want to test or I want to regenerate a value, you don't need to write anything, just autofill, send a request, and yeah, it's addition of that. So that's why protofile is really powerful. That's why gRPC is really powerful in terms of communication, how it works. Everything is defined in a proto in terms of, if I go to gRPC, In body there is nothing definition or something like that, because what kind of data you are going to say and what kind of data user send is nothing is kind of defined, and that's why gRPC is find a solution. gRPC comes with that particular solution, and that's why gRPC is widely used. A bunch of features are there for gRPC, not specific to proto files, but yeah, that's a really powerful thing. So once you do that, you can add a reflections here. You can do metadata. We receive some metadata just like application JSON, gRPC status, something like application JSON or similar you have worked with REST API. But this is how the server reflection work, add some and bunch of stuff. And about the proto files, you can do this. So next thing, which is a restart or a refresh method. So it's really interesting stuff. We have documented this, we can read, but I will give the introduction here. So imagine that you're developing any local development gRPC stuff, and you made some changes to your proto file server methods, which will be visible here. And to make sure that this information is going to store or reflect as soon as you made a changes, we have this refresh. So once you do that changes, just save your file on a local system or local development, refresh this all the methods is going to store in a Bruno memory, and Bruno memory will reflect all the changes here. So as soon as you have save those information or save those methods on your proto file on your local development, and once you click on this, you have to click on this refresh. So once you do that, all your sums and add methods which is available here, and as you see the pop-up here as that added a 35 gRPC method. So this is how the refresh method works, and this is generate a gRPC curl command, save request, and this is how the execution works like. So right now this is how the gRPC works. This is basic interface, how it looks like. Right now the most interesting part is streaming, because that's why the gRPC is mostly popular. And where is the gRPC dummy bidirectional? So there are multiple gRPC categories. So for the streaming, you have a unary streaming where you send a single message to your server, and just a single last way where you perform single request, you receive single response, you send a single request, receive a single response. It is like once a two-sided communication, but once response or one request at a single time. So it's just a unary, that's like one-sided thing. Client streaming, where you send a multiple message to your server sends you one response. And server streaming, where your server is going to send you multiple messages, and on your client side you receive or you send a particular message, but your server is going to send a multiple message to your client. And bidirectional means you can send multiple message to your server can send a multiple message to your client, just like a chatting application or streaming application where you can send a multiple thing to your client, your audience, and your audience can send a multiple messages to you. Or you can chat with someone with a multiple messages and someone will send you multiple messages. So that's why the bidirectional streaming is really popular term in gRPC, and that's why the chat application or collaborative editing platforms, Canva, Figma, it works on that. So we are going to change our method to bidirectional streaming. So this is how the bidirectional streaming works, and I'm going to autofill my message from here. So this is my autofill message. Once you do that, you have to send a message, or you have to just execute right now. So right now what's happening here, once you execute the request, the connection is established. So the connection is established, the button send gRPC message is enabled here. Previously it's not there because connection is not set up. So you have to set up a connection here, and then you have to click on send gRPC message, and then you will receive a response here. You can add a multiple message, like once you click on add message, you will say generate a dummy response, and once you do that, you will send message, and this is our latest one and this is our previous one. I will go to latest, and once you are done with this communication, you can just say you are done, and you can just stop the connection. And if you go to timeline, you will see the gRPC receive a particular response, the strings, this is a response to, status is okay, stream ended because we have ended the stream, and in for few edge cases, as you can see the okay, I will build a connection again to show you. You can cancel the connection from here. It will just completely end up connection, not care of you're sending a message or something. It's going to end your way of communication. Here you're not ending communication, you're just explicitly explaining that you're done with the communication, you want to stop the connection. So you can done this, you can add a multiple messages, you can receive a response, and as you can see we receive a success message response and you get that. So this is how the streaming things works, and you receive multiple messages. So I will delete this, I will clear my timeline, and again we will build a connection to show you how things works. gRPC is selected, I have saved this. What needs to be done next? Name resolution failed, target DNS, gRPC bin dot. Okay, Jesus. So we are doing some bad practice here. We have added a as mistaken while doing a save request, and that's why it's giving us an error. And right now, as again I have established a connection now, and I will say create a sample message, dummy message. I will send this message to my server, and my server receive this, and my server, once I'm going to done, like I received this response from here, as you can see, but the moment I am explicitly explain that I am done with the response, I am going to end up my connection. The time is counting here, and you will just say stopped. So stream ended, just status said okay, and you have this response. So this is how the response, receive, and streaming works in the gRPC stuff here. You can perform, you will add all the proto files, and all the definitions will automatically reflect from server reflection in the here. And if you're doing any local development and you want to store that particular thing, just click on this server reflection, it will be there. So this is how the basic walkthrough of gRPC, how the gRPC works, proto files, adding proto files, streaming stuff, the reflection, and basic walkthrough of interface. We are going to polish a few things here as requested from community, and if you are someone who is already using this or going to use, and you have particular feedback that the particular features should be a part of this interface or something we can implement, which is going to be a good addition, valuable addition. If you have that kind of feature or any suggestions like that, so feel free to create a feature request on GitHub or be a part of Discord discussion where we are discussing about how we are going to shape this feature right now. So this is a complete walkthrough or basic walkthrough, and again, as just a reminder, if you want to use gRPC feature, you have to enable gRPC support from here, and then you can use a gRPC stuff. So this is how you can use gRPC, and thanks for again watching this video, and just make sure you subscribe the button. We have a lot of content coming up, and feel free to join our Discord server where we communicate. We have a lot of discussions, and we have almost 2,000 people where people are help each other and be a part of open source project as a Bruno. And thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one.